Is Venom a bitch? Is he a sassy bitch? We're not going to talk about that. It's the Watch on the Couch, Castle Rock. Welcome to the wrap-up show of Castle Rock. It has been long delayed because Debbie and I are both busy. I'm here with my co-host for the entirety of last season or whatever it was, first season, Mrs. Debbie. How are you doing?
I am great. How are you?
I am also great. I'm off of work now. I just ate a donut, so I feel pretty good about life.
Awesome.
Yeah. I did ruin my shirt today at work, though. That sucks. Did I mention that?
Yeah, something blue.
No.
Right? Or no?
No, it was some kind of either red paint or red glue.
It's not blue.
And the shirt is blue.
The shirt is blue.
I did not do a good job of cleaning it up, but we're not going to talk about that either. We have a lot to cover. As a preface for the conversation we're about to have, wanted to say that first of all, let's note the response on the Facebook group. Mm-hmm. Majority of people were not very pleased with the finale.
No.
Since we were not able to really talk about that while we were recording the finale. It had happened the day before, so not a ton of response on there before. I think their opinion's totally different from ours. Like,
oh yeah,
we weren't necessarily 100% satisfied with not getting all the answers we wanted, but we also didn't like shit all over.
No,
shit all over it. Yeah, and that's just I don't know. I think that's just how TV or art is. It's like
it's very polarizing.
Yeah, exactly. Like, especially if it's good.
Yeah.
Or bad.
And I didn't have an issue with the show. I just had an issue with how they wrote out that final scene.
Yeah.
I didn't like the way it went.
Yeah. And the final scene was like a couple of minutes long. So when you compare that to an hour and such of how long the finale was, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Mostly okay with everything that happened. It was a weird wrap-up for sure. And I haven't watched it again, but I've thought about it a lot in the month or whatever it's been since we last got together. There's already cat noises happening.
I am just...
Venom's being nice and polite. He's watching the other one.
He only does this shit either at night, at 3 a.m., or when we're podcasting.
Yeah, well...
He sleeps on the couch behind me.
Kinsley we're talking about.
Yes.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah, I we contemplated doing this episode just based on what people thought about it and addressing the points, and decided that's maybe not the best way to go, because then it's just us defending the show, and that's not really that fun to listen to.
No, I mean, that's fine. We should defend it because we liked it, but
at the same time,
you don't need an hour of us going off bullet points telling you why you're wrong.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm not. Yeah, that doesn't sound fun to me. So, our favorite producer and writer on the show, Mr. Marc Bernardin, he does a podcast with Kevin Smith. Kevin Smith was out of town. I think he's a director on Supergirl for some episodes. So while he's out of town doing that, Mark did a full episode where he brought on a critic of some kind of thing.
She's from Screen Junkies.
Yeah, so she basically just fielded a bunch of questions from the audience and then asked her a bunch of her own questions.
Mm-hmm. She took heavy notes.
Yeah, and it was about 2 hours long, and an hour and a half of that was covering Castle Rock, top to bottom, and it just runs the gamut. So we're going to go through all the points, because he actually answered questions.
Yeah.
Which the show really didn't on a lot of this stuff. So
No, and I think he's able to answer questions because he's not doing season 2.
yeah,
So he's free of spoilers.
He's not beholden
Yeah,
to...
he doesn't have to worry about saying something
Yeah.
because he's not a part of this new writing process.
Right. And, I think he does make a point to, like, not necessarily ruin anything that they were planning or had talked about.
Right.
But he's not involved in it, so he doesn't even know if they're going to do that stuff that they talked about.
Yeah, because it can change
So,
by time.
Traditional format of the show, we cover a little bit of Stephen King news, so let's do that first.
Okay.
Sissy Spacek was on WTF with Marc Maron, and they kind of just went through her career. But she mentioned something interesting about Carrie, which was that in preparation for her character, she checked out these biblical drawings by people that are interested in biblical art will know who this is, but I had no idea, so I had to kind of Google it. But Gustav Doros is a
Gustav.
yeah, gosh, we love Gustav. He made these engravings and etchings that have traditionally been paired with the Bible over several years. I don't know exactly what era he was from, but
a while ago.
Yeah, but they were the inspiration for her character, and she would start and begin scenes like these drawings.
Oh, weird.
So I just thought that was a really creepy and weird.
Did you Google some of what the drawings looked like?
Yeah, and
could you see?
I mean, they're just weird, they're very dark interpretations of stuff that happens in the Bible, and which I am not knowledgeable in whatsoever. So people go and look up Gustav Doros. Maybe I'll throw some up on the Facebook group so people can see what we're talking about. Yeah. But so then Stephen King's dog turned 4 last week.
Oh, happy birthday!
Beautiful, beautiful dog that destroys a lot of things apparently.
Sounds like somebody else we know.
Yeah, exactly. And Kinsley's still making noise. Elevation, the new Stephen King novel, is released October 30th. So that's coming up quick. Might be out by the time this posts. I don't know. It looks cool. I don't really know what the story is in that, but
I know I read the synopsis because I bought the audiobook. But I don't.
So it will be the print form of that will be coming out October 30th. The Pet Sematary trailer dropped.
Oh.
At least the first one. I actually saw it on the big screen before Halloween this past weekend.
Oh, nice. Church is so cute.
I'm kind of conflicted on it because I like the first one as bad as some of the acting is in it. I like it a lot, so...
Now, okay, so I never read the book.
Yeah.
Because it's too traumatizing.
Yeah, it's a brutal book. He
can't.
didn't want to release it for a long time. He kept it in like a drawer.
Yeah, so I've never read it, but
yeah.
I heard when the pictures dropped from the movie and they had the cat Church, and they said that it's a Maine Coon, which is what Stephen King, I think it was a Maine Coon, which is what Stephen King had written into the book, and not like that black whatever kind of cat that was in the original. So apparently
it was a gray cat.
Yeah, gray, that's right.
Yeah.
But yeah, so apparently they're picking details like better that were actually in the book.
If that's the case, I'm definitely I'm going to see it regardless, but what's the neighbor's name? Can't remember his name off the top of my head, but he that actor is
John Lithgow.
Yeah, John Lithgow playing that character. He's not doing that redneck Maine accent.
No.
So that's an interesting choice. You can't really match what the original actor did with that. It would be weird just trying to mimic what he did. So I think that's a good choice, but it is
sound
kind
like
of
Sling
jarring.
Blade, I think, if he tried.
Yeah. And also a thing that I noticed is like for some, even in Castle Rock, like every scary movie and show seems to want to have creepy masked kids in it.
Yeah.
So that's in there, and I don't remember anything about that being in the book. So, okay, I guess.
It just adds an extra eerie element.
Yeah, but
those masks.
Yeah, but if it's any bit as brutal as the book is, then we can look forward to being severely creeped out by that movie.
Yeah.
Mr. Mercedes 2 just ended. I haven't seen the finale yet, but it is better than the first one. They made some really interesting choices of how... Okay, so a lot of that second book, it's inside the mind of the killer who's stricken comatose in the first book. So in order to show that, he's kind of like... They show him like in this room. And it was a good way for them to tell the story. So...
like a broom inside his brain.
Yeah, like he's he's looking through his computer screens and stuff instead of just his inner monologue being the way they tell the story. It's like him talking. You see him acting, not just
like
a voice.
Like in Dreamcatcher when he was locked in his brain.
Yes, very much the same as that. So I have enjoyed it. I watched episode 9 or wait. It was either episode 8 or episode 9 with my mom, and that was an interesting experience because there's a very creepy...
Has she watched any of the show?
Yes, she loves the show, but there's some very creepy mom-kid love.
Oh.
Yeah, so I was like,
it's getting a little awkward.
This is weird. Anyway, good show. Definitely worth checking out season 2. And then I didn't get a chance to watch this, but King was a guest on Eli Roth's new horror history show.
Yeah, I saw a commercial for that.
So I haven't seen it, but I
can't remember
I want
if I
to.
DVR'd it. Yeah, it looked really good.
Yeah, so they're basically going through the history of horror in pop culture. So look out for that. And that's all I got for news, unless you have anything to throw in here that you've seen.
No, I don't think so.
Well, let's get to it since we have a lot to cover. Like I said, we're going to cover a bunch of stuff from the Fat Man Beyond podcast, and it is called Black Man Beyond is the title of the podcast. If you want to go and check that out before this, but it kind of would be moot because we're going to cover everything they're about to talk about.
Yeah,
so
we're telling you about it so you don't have to watch
it. And he actually did a small Instagram Q&A before that came out, and he said this. Somebody asked him, would any Dark Tower stories work as a TV show? And he said there are companies who would like them to.
Oh.
So that's not really a straight answer, but of course.
But it's not a no.
Yeah, but I mean, obviously they want to make that work. The movie, if you ask me, was pure fucking dog shit. But they could make some of those stories work because they're spread out over a arcing kind of storyline with lots of different elements that weren't covered in the movie anyway. So
right, you need more of a platform to get that story across, not just 2 hours.
Yeah, I mean, Jesus, they tried to compact so much into one thing, and for me, it didn't work.
No, because the problem with that is when they try to.
Did you guys watch it?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I've never read the books, so to me,
you don't have any context,
right? But I understand it because I do read a lot of books that become movies or TV shows, and the problem with the movies is that, especially if it's a series, is they take the main concept of like the first book, and then they pick and choose things from the other books,
right.
And when it's in that like specific time for that book, like you can't just have like other things happening because that doesn't happen yet,
right?
So as a fan of the book, you're like, well, that's not how it's supposed to fucking go, and then you're pissed off the entire movie.
Yeah. So
I understand the frustration. I didn't have it because I haven't read them.
Yeah, and as a fan, I was just like, the whole time in theater. I'm like,
Yeah, because you're thinking that whole time, this isn't how it goes.
This isn't how it should be.
Because if you're going to do a movie and it's a series, then just do the first book.
Yeah.
Just stay with that first book.
Or
don't veer off of it.
Yeah. Or the whole fourth book is a flashback to a child story.
Pick from that.
Yeah. Like started with the beginning of the timeline.
Yeah.
Even, so anyway, that's us trying to pick stuff apart. So the entire beginning of the podcast was just telling the story of how he got the job. We're not really going to cover that. It's kind of interesting, but it's really just a sort of like business story of like how he got hired,
Right.
really. So we're not really going to cover that. We're going to talk about the show.
Yes.
Okay, so I guess follow along in your notes, and if I miss anything that you thought was interesting, stop me and say your thing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so first subject was the kid.
And also, he's being interviewed by Roth Cornett, which, how awesome of a first name is Roth.
Yeah, that's that
like
is good.
she was rocking that name. So
he brought a critic on, and they kind of back and forth, and she fields some questions, and that's kind of what makes the body of the podcast. But,
and they're in a bar,
right, in front of a bunch of people who are also interested in the show. So
yeah.
Okay, so on the subject of the kid, the writers talked about him being the devil or a demon or Leland Gaunt from Needful Things, or just a splinter in the universe. And they said as they wrote, he became a more esoteric version of this, where it's hard to say whether or not he is any of these things. But death is, clearly following him wherever he goes. And Castle Rock becomes the center of all of this death. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, and he says that the kid's not the devil.
Yeah.
He's not evil. It's just the legend of the kid follows him around.
Right. He like you said,
Earth cannot contain itself when he's there,
Right.
so bad shit happens.
So correct in saying he's esoteric. He's more of like all of these things, sort of.
Because he's not supposed to be there.
Right. So, and that is another thing that he nails down.
And that's a check mark in my box.
Yeah,
being right.
But we also should preface this by saying, like, this is his interpretation, what he thinks.
Well, yeah, but because he's saying this storyline is done,
Right.
That's what it should be,
Right.
unless they go back and rewrite things.
So, so there's a lot of stuff, so we can't spend too much time on each little thing. But we're just gonna roll through these and spend a little bit of time on each.
Yeah.
On the subject of the kid visiting the party, and where he gets on the roof of that house, which we were definitely kind of perplexed by.
The murder house.
Yeah. He said this takes place in the present timeline and is not a flashback at all.
It's just because he's there, so they just start murdering each other.
Which we thought, or at least one of my theories was that it is a flashback, and he's viewing something that previously happened in that house.
Yeah, no, instead it was
him being there causing that.
He's just like broke in.
Yeah, and we actually thought that that might be him as a kid or something,
Right.
So
all of that wrong.
Yeah,
he just shows up and they start murdering each other.
So, listeners out there, we're getting answers that we did not get. So this is gonna be real. I think this is gonna be an interesting show for people to listen to. Let's see. Ruth, on the subject of Ruth, she's the only character who, quote unquote, time travels in the story. But it's really her dementia. But if anybody is time traveling, it's her. So the kid is not time traveling.
Right. So I was wrong on this because I was really hoping she was like bouncing back and forth and doing shit. She's just a normal person with dementia.
And I'm glad that it's simpler than what we thought.
Yeah,
because
but I was really
it would
hoping,
really overcomplicate.
I was like hoping that Ruth was alive still somehow.
Yeah, unfortunately not. So then another thing about Ruth is her seeing things new in the Queen. It's only because she's off her meds that she's seeing things differently. She isn't able to change the past, but just see it in a new way.
Right.
So she is not some kind of Time Lord.
She's not a reliable source.
No, but she's not like a Doctor Who like Time Lord where she's able to switch stuff around now or anything like that. She's just off her meds, and now she's able to see things for not even necessarily how they really are, but just differently than she did before. So I thought that was kind of interesting. And it's crazy because as he goes through these things, I'm like, I did not expect to ever find out about this stuff.
Yeah, and I mean, I guess because the kid's hanging out there, that
Mm-hmm.
is when Ruth shoots Alan, that's the crazy side effect he has on him being at their house.
Yeah, right. Let's see. So when they were writing, they only had the rights to about 10 King stories in all, which I thought was pretty interesting. Like they had to pick from these very specific titles.
Yeah.
Which the ones that they reference and not just like barely touch on, but like definitely reference are the ones. So like Evil Things, that kind of stuff. The characters that are pulled are directly from those ones that they had the rights to.
Right.
Okay, so question. Is the kids' parallel universe story real? They took a poll in the bar, and less of the least amount of people in the bar thought that it was real.
And guess what?
And Mark believes that the kid, because it gives firm ground to tell the rest of the story.
Yeah, so you got to believe it.
Yeah.
So again, I was right.
Okay, I'll give you that. And that was a source of argument on the board too. It was like, you're wrong about that, Chris. I'm like, okay, I mean, you're probably right. I am, but
it had to be true.
Yeah, because unless, I mean, if it isn't, then it kind of like makes the rest of the story sort of see through.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, there's not, like you said, not really firm ground to tell the rest. So, I would have guessed that Mark would say, and I wrote this down, I would guess that Mark would say that considering he wrote the episode that introduces the entire schisma concept. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And can I just say, the more I think about the episode that he did, the more I think about that episode was almost totally not needed. Like, if you take that episode out, does it really change anything?
Well, we never have the mystery of the van.
No, like...
Yeah, no, you're right, though, because it is kind of like its own separate storyline.
Yeah, I mean, they popped up, in like 2 episodes before following him, and then it was this whole shebang with them, and then it was just over.
And
all that really did was allow him to maybe hear things and then kind of believe Molly more, but not really.
Well, but then in the later episodes, like, that stuff isn't super expanded upon. It's just sort of like, okay, now you know that he is actually hearing stuff or whatever. Yeah. It's not...
I just feel like they could have done that in a different way and
given us
another episode of more details.
Yeah, we get in all the episodes after that, we get the point of what they're trying to give to us. You know what I mean? Like,
just the more I look back, the more I'm like, oh, that episode. Like, I just...
It wasn't one of the stronger ones. It was more confusing.
Because how did the van get out there, man?
Yeah. He answered us on that one. Okay, so question. Does Alan Pangborn remember old Castle Rock events? Because...
He's in a lot of them.
That's something I brought up is like, all this fucking crazy shit happens in Evil Things. And, the town basically gets destroyed. So how is he not ever referencing any of it? You know what I mean? So his answer was PTSD. He's
blocking a lot of things.
Yeah, he like chooses to forget that he saw the devil, which major spoilers for Evil Things, and some insanity at the end of that whole story. He puts it behind him, and Ruth is his North Star in this story that keeps him grounded. You know what I mean? Like, he goes to her and he's like, okay, if I just keep this under control, things are going to be okay for me. Turns out, not so much.
Nope.
If Castle Rock is now canon in Stephen King,
then this is the end of. Yeah. Unless we go in that other timeline.
Right. So, and I hate that I have to now accept.
And I love it. As soon as I heard them say that, I was like, yes.
Yeah, and I can always forever say that this is just how Mark sees it. You know what I'm saying?
But also the fact that it is true and that there's parallel universes just makes my heart hurt more for the kid who's now locked in a cage
totally.
again.
It's heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Let's see. Okay, so on the subject of trolling the fans, because there is a lot of stuff in here. It's like, dude, are you guys just fucking with us?
Okay,
you know?
Before you go into
Sure.
that, I just want to put in, because he talked about a scene that didn't make it that he really hoped would, about the adoption of how they got, the way they refer to it in the podcast is Black Henry.
Oh, yeah, okay. So Black Henry and White Henry are how they differentiate.
Yeah, so when Matthew Deaver, in our normal timeline that we're used to, when him and Ruth go to the hospital to adopt the baby, in that scene, they wanted to show him with that machine or that frequency thing, and whichever baby cried, that was the one that could hear on that frequency. And I felt like that probably would have helped us, you know, a little bit more. And
yeah, I mean, at least kind of connect those dots while we're watching and be like.
So I was kind of disappointed that was not a scene that actually made it into the show.
that was a criticism from a lot of people, is not enough really like character development. I was happy with it, but I
still love the show. I just now I'm wishful thinking.
Yeah, and it certainly couldn't have hurt.
No,
you know. Okay, so Mark said that there's minimal trolling. Like, they weren't setting out to fuck with us.
On a scale of 1 to 10, he said 3.
Yeah, so there is a little bit of. I saw it more as red herrings. You know what I mean? Like, look over here. You're not going to see what's really going on if you're looking over here.
Right.
Let's see. So he says the lever between what characters believe and what do the storytellers show. What is the most evocative version of the story? And an example of this is Molly's powers or just asocial. So you kind of have to, like, there's a balance between the two. Is like how you want to. What is going to connect with people that are watching it the most in an evocative way?
Right.
And
I thought it was interesting. They said he said she doesn't have the shining, but close to it.
Right.
And everybody was like, well, what the fuck does that mean?
Yeah, I mean, she does kind of ride the line the whole time. So, and that it just keeps you guessing. So that's kind of the thing. What he was saying is like, we weren't fucking with you. It's just. It's in between.
A mystery.
Yeah. So, okay. On the subject of, and I'm just gonna keep saying that a lot, I guess. Jackie going to the Overlook next season. Cat wants your donut. He says there's pretty much zero chance that's going to happen.
Yeah, so we're staying in Castle Rock.
Yeah, and I kind of thought that was the case because it's Castle Rock, not Boulder or wherever the Overlook is.
I think the actual hotel's in Boulder, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, I love the character of Jackie. I think he said like it's possible she'll show up again, but I don't think we're gonna spend a whole season there. No, that would just be The Shining.
Yeah, she'll probably be a side character.
Yeah.
And before you forget, they said that 27 years in the cage is what turned the kid into a monster. He wasn't a monster.
Right.
So, I just want to, because that was another point of contention with us.
Oh, totally, yeah. I mean, and really that's just like a theory that I had. They never concretely said that, you know. But there is a lot of things that could lead you that way. I was just
always hoping for the best for him.
Yeah, he says the 27 years of time passage that White Henry and Black Henry are in the other world is real. So
and won't be visited again.
Right. So that's I mean, he is laying down that gauntlet and saying like that is for sure what we meant.
Yeah.
So I dig that. Even if I disagreed with it upon first watch, I like getting answers like that. So, okay. So, talking about JJ's involvement a little bit, he said that JJ is the one who gets the big names of people on the phone. You know, when they were theorizing what kind of actors could be on the show, and they're like, it would be cool if we got Sissy Spacek because she was in Carrie, and she's an actress who's still out there doing it. Maybe we should ask JJ to get her, you know? So anybody big that they wanted, they're like, hey, JJ.
And I like how it just sounds like he's just got everybody's phone number and his cell phone.
He probably does.
Yeah, he's got a Rolodex.
Yeah, I'm sure, or at least he has, like, their agents.
Yeah.
You know? And he was never hands-on with the show, though. He was just sort of, like, on the periphery.
I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah,
it's just...
they ran stuff by him, and he's like, oh, no, that sounds good.
Yeah.
Go for it, you know? Very vague, general sense, you know.
It's not Star Trek that he's doing.
Let's see. So, the difference between a Bad Robot story and Stephen King's story, the Bad Robot mystery aspect.
I love this.
Yeah. And Stephen King, there's like no mystery behind it.
He just tells you what it is.
The fucking title says what it is, you know? Which was like Cujo.
And Carrie.
Yeah, it's like that's the subject of the story. There is no mystery. Yeah. The Shining.
The Shining, right?
It.
It, exactly. And then I love when he said, it. And what is it? It's a fucking clown spider.
Yeah.
You find that out on page 5.
Yeah, and they said Hulu wanted clarity and connective tissue, so they found a happy medium between Stephen King's and Hulu's version of telling stuff.
Stephen King's, well, here's all your information. Now, what are you going to do with it? And
right.
Hulu's, well, let's not give them everything.
Right. Okay, so a fellow writer, Sam, used Ruth, the story of Ruth's dementia and stuff, to process his own mother's recent death and dementia. So I thought that was kind of cool. Mm-hmm. That writer handled that whole storyline.
And said that she really did use chess pieces.
Right. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's something out of reality.
That's a real tool.
Which is also super sad. But,
yeah.
you know, it is what it is. That's real life. It's sad sometimes.
Dementia sucks.
Reality is sadder than fiction a lot of times. So, okay. Here was a crazy fucking thing that he laid just out there in the open. Henry and Molly did do it at their fucking house.
I knew it! I told you!
You did. But it didn't explicitly say that, and the crowd was surprised when he said that.
I wasn't surprised. They had fucking bedroom eyes, and they were in the bedroom and getting dressed. It was so obvious.
Yeah.
They had sex. Knew it.
He's like, yeah, they did. So there's that.
There is that.
An unused pitch.
I loved this idea.
Yeah, Mark wanted Sissy Spacek to somehow reference her being Carrie on the show, and that's why the universe was being torn apart. But they did not have the rights to use Carrie. So.
Yeah, he wanted to make it like she was in the witness protection program.
Yeah.
And she moved to Castle Rock under a different name, and now all shit's going. And they were like, well, we could like allude to it. You know?
Yeah. But I don't know. It might be a little too on the nose for her to be Carrie.
Yeah.
So.
But I mean, that's the thing. Like, they wouldn't need the rights if they just allude to it because they have Carrie.
Yeah, and there's several other things that I don't know that they for sure had the rights to that they alluded to, like 9 and 19. Those are just numbers, but they're definitely in the Dark Tower universe, but they're just numbers, so they can allude to them safely. You know what I mean? Okay, so the Desjardins house, that's easy to say.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was just like old man barber dude. I can't remember his name.
So the idea was that before being found by Pangborn, young Henry was at the Desjardins house, and weird shit happened there, but it didn't land well on the show. Mm-hmm. So that was, and the mystery there is like, was he in the cage for 12 days in the other universe? But it did, yeah, he was correct that it didn't land well, because we were like, what? They kind of never address it again after that.
No, not at all. It was just like, he went there, got creeped out, got the file, and left.
So that's another thing that was like we were talking about on the boards a little bit, is like there's all these storylines that just sort of get left out in the open, which is weird. Yeah, and it's kind of frustrating. But
like if they had gone and made Henry question it and like talk about it more, then maybe you would have gotten that payoff of, well, there's two different theories of where he actually went for those 12 days.
Right.
He was either, in the woods here in a cage, or he was in that other dimension, know. But they never revisited it in any way, so it just
like, okay.
Yeah, we just forgot about it.
And then we never talked about it again after that, really.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's all we really have there. Mark believes that if Black Henry had chosen to push White Henry into the portal, things would have balanced out again. But instead, he chooses to bear the weight of responsibility and imprison the kid, which is what you were so frustrated with.
Stupid Henry.
Yeah, I mean, that is truly what he's doing. So
he's punishing himself for no reason.
Well, it's
and inadvertently, like.
But in the way they're telling the story, though, it's pulling it back around full circle.
Yeah, I mean, he's crazy now, and
he becomes the custodian of White Henry. You know what I mean? He takes the place of the warden, the previous warden, Lacey.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how that is, but
White Henry should have done his bad mojo, whatever that shit is in the universe that just follows him around, that kills people. Should have gotten, this Henry, because he just ruined everything.
He
ruined it all.
If he would have pushed him through, that's also a satisfying ending. So
yeah, I would have loved that so much more.
But yeah, they chose the other direction.
The other direction, which is heartbreaking. Yeah. And then the fact that they keep saying we may never see that ever again.
Yeah.
So now I'm just left to think, well, poor, other dimension Henry is just rotting away in a fucking hole again in the middle of this town.
Yeah, but at the same time, a lot of Stephen King stories don't have a happy ending at all.
I know.
So it is kind of...
That's why I throw his books a lot. Fuck his endings.
Not all of them.
Not all of them, but
they're always, and I think he talks about this later or something, but Stephen King's endings always kind of leave a door at the end for something else, and so there's like
sometimes you don't want that door.
They do resolve that the bad shit kind of gets wrapped up most of the time. But or sometimes they don't. But there's always a tinge of shittiness still left with the main character.
Yeah, it's never a happy ending.
Yeah.
It's 600 pages of doom and gloom.
Yeah.
And you get to the end, the bad shit's gone, but now everything sucks.
Well,
it's the complete opposite of how they do movies.
But they just have to live with the awfulness of what just happened. You know what I mean? Like Pangborn, even though he doesn't reference it in the Castle Rock show, he has to live with shit being his reality as he knows it being torn apart. How he can't ever see anything the same again.
I know. King writes it more realistic. Like,
yeah, exactly. And
shit hits the fan, everything still sucks afterwards.
That's why I like how he ends stuff, because it's like real shit.
I just don't like when I go on a 400-page journey with him. And I just feel so more heartbroken at the end. And I'm like, if I had just not read these last 2 pages, I wouldn't feel this bad right now.
It's tough, yeah. But if you want to be a fan, you got to take the punches, Okay, so moving on. There were conversations about making the Kid Randall flag from The Stand. And, he's also known as like RF or the Ageless Stranger, or a bunch of different stuff. He's basically the Man in Black in the Dark Tower, and he's this evil force that kind of pops in here and there in different King stories. But they decided not to.
Well, they didn't have the rights to The Stand.
Yeah, but they also decided not to dissuade viewers of thinking the kid might be Pennywise.
Oh, yeah.
So they're not necessarily saying that he's not, but they're also not going to dissuade you from going down that path in your mind, because it is creepy as fuck to think that he might be.
Yeah, and he's also what they mentioned, and we mentioned it too, the opposite of John Coffey.
Mm-hmm. Totally.
Because he has the touch of death.
Okay, so on the birds, that weird shit is a natural side effect of the schisma and not supernatural. And it is pseudo based on actual science.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we may have addressed that before because Mark had talked about it somewhere.
Yeah, but what they go on from with that is the schisma is what's driving people to do crazy things.
Yeah.
Also.
Right.
Which we never really discussed the schisma being the source of evil. But it makes sense if there's a tear, in the realities right there.
Yeah. If this
so
town
it's not just the kid, it's
right.
everything.
Yeah, and we kind of see that later in the finale when let's see, all those prisoners that are in there start fucking going crazy, and then they span out through the town causing mischief that we don't get to see happen, but we just assume happens.
Yes, mischief.
Right. That's a nice way of saying it.
Mm-hmm.
Kitty cat.
I also like how they compared Castle Rock to a Hellmouth situation.
Oh yeah, totally.
I loved all the Buffy, Harry Potter, like all the references going on.
Yeah, it's a total nerd group audience for that show. So on the subject of Henry having supernatural abilities, Mark says he has absolutely none. And that Molly is the closest to having that.
Yeah.
So I thought that was interesting. It's not him having the Shining at all. It's just the product of the universe being in a clusterfuck.
And him hearing that frequency.
Yeah. Okay, so I thought this was kind of funny. Henry is a black guy who does a lot of breaking and entering.
And he does.
And we never really thought about it that way, but yeah, he really does.
And like she mentioned, Roth, to be fair, he does break into the same house twice. So does that count as...
Well, he breaks into, the blind lady's house.
And then it gets sold.
Yeah, and then it's
B&B.
the bed and breakfast. But he also breaks into Desjardins' house.
Right.
So yeah, and he never like the blind lady, Lacey's mom or whatever, does get mad at him or whatever.
It's his wife.
Oh, that was his wife. That's right. They were both old.
Yeah.
Whoops. Yeah, but I just thought that was a funny way of looking at that.
It was.
He's a black guy breaking in places all over the place.
Right before that, they mentioned, though, that Castle Rock is kind of disbanded from the rest of the country, that they're more in a lawless land. And that's why they don't have, the huge police force, and it takes a couple days for the state police to get to their area.
Yeah. They're not necessarily in a major. I was trying to get a podcast photo in mid-conversation, and he's like, fuck you. Get out of here with that. Okay, so...
Oh, so the next thing of note.
Yeah.
And I'm so excited for this.
What's that?
Fucking Willie really did kill Odin.
Oh, well, hold on. There was one other thing. The tinnitus, and kind of the gunshot in his ear and the schisma, all those things used to tie together Henry doubting his reality and begin to believe in the supernatural. So
Henry's a dumbass.
Henry is a dumbass, but I thought it was kind of cool that they had multiple ways of trying to get across to you that he's trying to pull this shit together.
But it never comes
working.
across to him.
It doesn't. Only to us.
No matter how many times Molly reads his mind and tells him what he's thinking, he's still like, what?
Yeah.
No, man.
He's kind of dumb.
Fucking snap out of it.
Okay, so Willie did kill Odin.
Yay!
Yeah. Not Molly.
Or the kid.
Yeah, so we were all confused on that.
Kid exonerated. Molly exonerated.
Yeah, and I think we floated that it was a possibility that Willie did it, but
because he didn't want to be stabbed in the ear, and that's exactly what they said.
Yeah. I wouldn't. So that was cool to get that answer.
Yeah.
Not explicitly told at all.
No. Well, because he blames Black Henry for it.
Yeah.
He's like, that guy did it. Blame the one black guy.
Oh,
if they had
boy.
blamed him for a B&E,
Yeah,
I mean, that would have been a lot
it
more
makes sense.
believable.
He says that season 2 writing has begun and Mark is not involved.
Nope.
I think he has his own show.
Yeah, he's doing something else for
Can't
like
remember
2
what
months
it's called.
or something. And
Let's see. Okay, so here we go. Subject of the demon face.
yeah.
Henry uses this as justification. Black Henry, we're talking about. Uses this as justification for imprisoning the kid. He's the one that sees that.
I told you.
We're seeing it through his eyes.
I knew it. I told you. He's not evil.
So Black Henry is interpreting reality incorrectly.
Yeah, this is what justifies him being able to sleep at night.
Right.
That the kid is really the devil.
So then a follow-up to that is, well, why does he smile then really creepily at the end?
And that's what I said.
Yeah, and he says it's kind of just trolling the audience, which is bullshit. They shouldn't have done that if that's the case.
Well, and like I said, he's smiling because he knows he can sit down there and wait another 27 years,
Yeah.
and the other fucking Henry's just going to go just as crazy and eventually kill himself.
And it is also like a tease for possibly returning that character on another
I
season.
really hope they do.
But that's where I kind of understand frustration on some people's part. It's like, well, if he's gone through all this fucking heartbreak and shit, he shouldn't be smiling at the end.
They turned him into a monster. He
Yeah.
doesn't care.
Yeah. Well, I guess.
Not just because he's not actively killing people, like his just very being is killing people, doesn't mean he's not a little fucked up in the head.
Well, yeah, and especially since he's been in a cage for a really long time.
Yeah,
like,
and
he's
then-
gonna be.
And then for when he gets rescued by this person. He has no idea who he is, but he lives in, with his mom. Or, who he perceives as his mom, but it's not his mom, So,
Yeah.
I mean, the whole thing is just weird. And then listening to all those tapes and seeing, like, that this whole other life is existing
Right.
without him.
Yeah, it's totally screwed up
Yeah.
any
that
semblance
fucks you
of
up.
living okay.
I'd smile when he left, too, because I'd know that, his shit's not going to be
This
okay
is better
either.
than being out there.
Yeah.
I guess that's true. Let's talk about... Okay, so parallel universes in relation to the canon of Stephen King. And this is what universe that these stories take place in relation to our Castle Rock story.
Right.
So, Needful Things takes place in the Black Henry universe. Cujo takes place in the Black Henry universe.
Mm-hmm.
Dolores Claiborne takes place in White Henry's universe.
Mm-hmm.
The Body, a.k.a. Stand By Me, takes place in Black Henry's universe.
Mm-hmm.
And there's no real answers or discussion on the subject, really. They're just sort of throw those out there.
Right.
Let's see. Another interesting bit is that they tried to get Martin Sheen to reprise his role in this show from the Dead Zone. Mm-hmm. I would have shit my pants if that happened.
Right.
I love that movie so much. It's totally underrated as far as Stephen King stuff goes. People don't talk about it enough. I never watched the TV show at all. I know that it had the grown-up kid from The Breakfast Club. Mm-hmm. The nerdy kid from that show. Mm-hmm. But that would have been fucking insane if Martin Sheen just showed up out of nowhere in this show. Yeah, if people haven't seen Dead Zone, go and see that movie. It's fucking great. Well, I mean, rent it or something. You won't be able to go and see it anywhere.
Rent it at Blockbuster.
Yeah. Oh, wait. You have to go to the one that's left.
In Alaska.
Oh, I think that was debunked. I think
it's in
Oregon.
Yeah.
Let's see. A interesting theory that an audience member said is that White Henry is just the Langoliers trying to catch up to him.
Yeah.
And that's why he's so fucked up. So I thought that was really interesting. I didn't, never would have thought that would be a thing.
No.
And that is kind of all the notes I wrote down for it. That's all you got too?
The last thing I have is Langoliers are coming to get him.
So, okay. All of that stuff super interesting. I hope you guys out there listening I looked at the mic like they're in there.
Hello, people.
Enjoyed those answers, but we're not finished yet. I have one more thing that I thought was super fucking cool that I found that came up on YouTube after the show finally wrapped.
Mm-hmm.
These are Easter eggs. I don't know why that was so hard to say. These are Easter eggs that we never mentioned.
Oh, awesome.
And there's a fucking lot of them.
Okay.
So, in the credits, there's a page from the Green Mile that is in the credits.
On the last episode of which one? All of them?
No,
or?
in the opening credits. Like,
Oh,
there's
okay.
a bunch of
yeah.
stuff flying at you, and we never really nailed down what all that stuff was. So,
yeah, because I mean, I know it said like Derry, Maine, because it as a newspaper clipping.
Yep. There's let's see. There's a page from The Shining in the opening credits. It says all work and no play, that kind of stuff. Misery's Return. Wait, let's see. Oh, so within the book Misery, there is a novel entitled Misery's Return. Mm-hmm. That novel, a page from that is in the credits.
Wow.
Which is like super deep. So let's see. From the Needful Things novel, there is a page from that in there. In the credits, Derry is circled, like you said. There are several cities on a map that all connect to different cities mentioned throughout Stephen King lore. Let's see. The Strangler from the Dead Zone used to live in Molly's house on the show.
I thought we knew that because she mentions their Strangler used to live here or something.
Yeah.
Or when she's selling the B&B, she says the Strangler used to live in my house.
Oh, that okay. Yeah, you're right. I just don't know if we mentioned that was an Easter egg or not, but maybe
I don't remember.
Yeah. Let's see. Okay, so the Nazi in the prison that White Henry has his way with, he was reading Lord of the Flies, which Castle Rock, the title is directly taken from Lord of the Flies.
Oh, okay.
Let's see. So the smiley from like the yellow smiley face that is in Mr. Mercedes and that Randall Flagg wears on his lapel in The Stand. That is in the show. I don't know.
Well, he put smiley faces on all the monitors.
That's what it was. Okay. I was like trying to rack my brain off the top of my head because most of these I wrote like what it connected to. But yeah, the smileys on the computers. Let's see. Red references soap carving in one of the prisoner library scenes.
Oh.
So
Red.
Yeah, so in Shawshank Redemption. Let's see here. In alternate reality, White Henry's reality of Castle Rock, the address of the park is 1919.
Oh.
There in the town square there you see a whole bunch of stores and stuff, and there's Claiborne Ice Cream Shop.
Yeah.
Callahan's Thrifty Lot, which is one of the main characters in Salem's Lot, and also in a few of the Dark Tower books. Molly is named after King's dog. The motto of Molly's company is "Live like a king."
Okay.
And on the side of the school bus in the the junkyard, I don't know why I said junkie yard. MB 117. It is a Beethoven piece that is titled King Stephen.
Oh, okay.
So
nice.
Super deep cut. And I think that's
and Marc Bernardin was acting like, oh, we don't do that many Easter eggs. We don't really think about it that much.
All
that's
over
very
the
deep.
place.
It's very deep.
So that will wrap up our Watches on the Couch, Castle Rock follow-up episode. How do you feel about it?
I was happy with the way he answered those questions.
Me too. I really enjoyed that he did that in depth of a conversation about it, because shows don't do that.
No.
Especially shows that are like this kind of questiony, mystery, leave a lot of stuff open-ended. You know, it's not that often that we know of a writer who was on the show, who was like right there when all the shit was being written and knows what it all means and is going to tell us to some extent, you know.
Because I almost feel like this interview that he did, it's not for the naysayers. It's not for the people that like said, oh, I hate this show. It's for the people who watched it, who enjoyed it, and he's like, I'm going to give you some answers.
Yeah, and they still have questions.
That we weren't able to give in the show.
Right.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, whether it be they didn't want to, or that they weren't able to, or they had, 10 episodes when they thought they were going to have 15 or something like that.
Right.
So, let's end it by saying this. Tim and Sarah are currently covering Watches on the Couch, the new Doctor Who series.
I need to fucking watch that show.
I have watched the first 3 episodes, and
of the
new one, and I'm listening to their podcast along with it. I was never really a fan of Doctor Who before this. I've dipped in here and there, but I absolutely love the stuff they're doing on the show. It's every story is totally different, so that keeps me interested too. We're not just. It's definitely not like this show, Castle Rock, where it's all one thing.
Right. And every new season you can jump in as a beginner.
Yeah.
It's a whole new storyline that they explain to you.
They try their best to make it an easy landing if you're coming in as a newcomer.
Well, yeah, because if you come into it as a newcomer, it seems kind of daunting.
Yeah.
To try to take on
it
all
has
of
been
Doctor
a show.
Who.
It's been a show literally for like 50 years or something. So anyway, check that out, watchesonthecouch.com. Also, we sort of decided that we're going to do it, right? Did we decide that?
What do you mean?
Well, we kind of discussed...
Oh, yeah, the old school one?
Yeah, like in the in-between of Newcastle Rock, whenever that's going to be, we're going to meet up in like a few months or something like that. And... I don't know. I think we should probably watch it separately.
Yeah. But the original, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I think it's in 2 parts, right? Something like that.
Yeah, but it's only on one DVD now.
Yeah. So it's probably like, what do you think? Like 2.5 hours or something like that?
Yeah, because it was a mini series on TV. So yeah.
A little bit longer than a
standard movie.
A movie, right? But what we're going to do, I don't know exactly how we're going to cover yet. If we're going to do it like this, where we... like this show where we cover it beat by beat, or if we're just going to watch it and talk about it.
Well, let's watch and talk about it.
I think that's probably a better idea.
My greatest phobia ever and obsession came from that movie that I still live with today.
I absolutely was freaked out by that movie when I was a kid, so it's a good one to watch.
And who doesn't love Tim Curry?
Exactly. It's just a no-brainer. So... until next time you hear from us, see you then. Goodbye, everyone.
Bye. 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 Bye.